All right, guys. Good morning. Hope everyone had a great what day is today? Today's Wednesday, so great Tuesday. Hope you guys had a cool little relaxing but profitable trading evening after we did or ended the live stream. Today is, like I said, it's Tuesday. It's the 15th of January, and it's 9:16 a.m. Market opens like always at 9:30, which means we got 14 more minutes till the market opens. We're going to be reviewing the watch list, and then we're going to be diving right into the trading at 9:30 with the opening bell for about 30 minutes. So this whole live stream, little recap, it should be about 45 minutes long. If you guys got questions, FAQ in the video description below. Let's get to the watch list. Oh, actually, before we do that, little fun fact. So I finally figured out why the comment section after the videos get streamed disappear. And that's because why is that? It's because if I edit or trim the video, so in YouTube, there's an editor and you can cut the first, I don't know, 30 seconds away from the video, so it starts right away, and you don't see me, looking around into space. So today I try to start it a little bit earlier, or just kind of quicker. So hopefully I don't have to trim anything. And maybe I'll revert some of the older videos back to the original if it works. I don't know. But I think that's why the chat wasn't appearing, and I couldn't figure it out anywhere. I was going through so many forums, and this is one of these solutions I've found. I'm not totally sure if it's going to work yet, but we'll see today. So there's a lot of stuff moving today in the market, and I typically don't put 4 tickers on my watch list, but I just couldn't help myself. Oop, I just realized I'm still looking at my streaming software. Sorry about that, guys. Let's just go through the list because there's just so much interesting stuff moving. So we have ADAP and CLVS from yesterday, or we have ADAP and TRXC from yesterday. I probably won't be trading those, but I kind of just threw them up on here since they were yesterday runners, and sometimes it's really good to just kind of keep those on the watch list. The first one I want to talk about, CLVS. Now this one also has been a former runner for quite some time, and this morning it had a giant run from 9 to 11.50. Okay, maybe it wasn't the biggest run, but for something that's 529 million market cap, that's pretty big because this is kind of a mid cap. 53 million float, biotech US company. So they were granted an FDA priority review for advanced prostate cancer. Business Wire. Prostate cancer case, and Business Wire is the news article it came from. Now, I'm not really sure how good an FDA priority review is going to be, but it's apparently worth 28%. Now this thing does have a relatively small float, so these these mid caps could still run just because the float is so tiny, but I don't know. Will we be trading it? I think there's some better opportunities, but we're going to really see with the opening bell what happens. Good morning, Valentine, by the way. I couldn't agree more, Shane. Let's do it. I'll look at NIO as well, Andy. TRXC was quite tragic for me. Yeah, we're going to talk, well, actually, it's not really on my watch list, but like I said, I kind of threw it up on here just because I like to review past runners. And yet, TRXC was, you had to be really quick with this one. So this was a first green day, but it was a little choppy out of the gate. And you guys could see my recap video where I talk about this whole thing. This is the trade we got on the live stream. We had that nice bull flag. We had the breakout trade right here. This was a really clean, almost exactly 10% trade. It was like 10.04%. And then we had a little secondary, bounce trade. This was pretty small. This is like a 3% winner. What was the big issue with TRXC? Did you at least learn what your mistake was, or is there something you can take away from it? I'm surprised how much it pulled off. I was not expecting that. It was super aggressive. Good morning, Sor. Yeah, let's keep while I wait for your answer. Let's just keep going. The next thing I want to talk about is OGI. Whew, 337 million market cap, 155 million float. So, kind of on the bigger scale. All those numbers are a little big. I really want to be trading under 100 million float. But still, this thing is a Canadian drug company, and they're capping up 35%. So that's kind of impressive. Here you can see it just about all the way to the top was about 36, 37%. And so they're a marijuana producer and their sales have doubled since the last quarter. So that's, good sales is always good news. It's very sustainable news. That is, that's kind of news that will typically move the market or move the stock for several days. Get that priced in there because, it's so fundamental. If their earnings are better, then they're clearly doing a lot right in the company. So that's really good. Let's keep moving on here. We have FLNT, 174 million market cap, 41 million float. Kind of big on the market cap side, but the float's really nice. It's a USA marketing service company. I feel like we don't usually get marketing companies. It's gapping up 70% though. That's really, really nice. So they have improved guidance, and that's kind of like the increase in sales. So that we see with OGI, increased guidance for 2019. So their 2020 guidance is better than it was expected in 2019. So that's basically the fundamentals of the company have improved, the outlook, the growth, and all that stuff. So this is generally just really, really good news. Let me quickly go here to trading chart, and here you can see this move. This is 70%. I love this. That's really, really nice. So this is something that we might be able to see, gapping up right out of the gate, really running. God, we have so much time this morning somehow, I feel. So we got another 7 minutes till the market opens. Let me just really quickly, before I go back in the chat, talk about CETX. Now, this is the one I'm actually really interested about. And the reason for that, well, okay, pre-market, these guys are already rallying all over the place. Buying them around 7, 8 o'clock would have been huge. Just check out that explosion they had. So when I was looking at them originally, they were up 70%, and now they're up 120%. This is exactly what we're looking for. So there's a good chance we're going to be trading CETX today. Check this out too, 5 million market cap. You can see I'm waking up because this is exciting. 5 million market cap, 2.79 million float. Woo! That's good news. I mean, that's a tiny float. This thing could really shoot, and you can see it here on their chart. It is shooting. So yeah, these guys also have really good fiscal year announcements and results, strong numbers, better margins. I think their margins improved. What was that? It was like 35, and then now it's at 40 or something. I was going through their report. Too many reports to kind of absorb all at once, but it looked pretty healthy across the board, and you could see their stock prices responding to that pretty well. Yeah, it's crazy. Just holding holding a few of these positions too long is really dangerous, especially support line bounces. I had one trade, I think it was 2 weeks ago. We were up, what was the ticker? I'd have to look it up. We were up 10%, and I just held it a little too long, and then I closed the position for like a 1% profit, which was really, really kind of annoying. So I was like, we were so in the green on that one. Where was it? I think it was NVCN. I don't know. I would have to find it, but I'm going through my trade journal right now. Lots to just kind of review, restudy, reflect on. Got too cocky and went again to 215 with 80 shares and rode that bad boy to 1.7. Ay, that's painful. I'm sorry, man. It happens though. It happens. Good thing you got out though. Yeah, just being in it right now, I mean, it would just be a big lost opportunity. 1.7, yeah, that's quite a dip down from the twos. At least you only had 80 shares. I mean, that's also good news. Starting with small account sizes, That's the best thing. That's also why we're doing this small account challenge. I was pretty rusty with trading stocks. It was a long time since I was actively day trading small caps. So I wanted to, grow a small account. And yeah, October we made tons of mistakes, and then November started clearing it up. December definitely made a few more mistakes trying to do some pre-market activities and whatnot. And then now January we're picking up a little bit. Actually, this month has been pretty cool. Actually. Our portfolio, the chart is looking really nice. And we're doing better than January and December combined. I mean, November and December. But we got to watch out. We got to be really careful. There's still many more mistakes that we can make. So, got to take things one at a time. Especially when the market is not moving. If the market's not giving us anything, we got to really be careful. We got to be pause off. And I'm super excited to see what what the market got in store for us today, morning, whatnot. It's not good to just be lazy and not check out what the market's doing. But if you don't feel comfortable with any certain positions, sometimes the best trade is the one you don't do. I don't know if I'm saying that for you guys or really just saying it for myself to remind myself, like, okay, when we hear that ding, 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 like, just, be really calm. And just let the trades come to you. That's a good question, Connor. I was actually just thinking about that. I was looking at my watch list again, and I was like, CETX looks like it's going to run the most. I wonder what we're going to be doing with it. So, honestly, that answer it's hard to answer, but it depends what's going to happen. Let's quickly look. We got 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Let's quickly look at the long-term chart. Clearly big resistance, big support in this area, but I don't think we're going to run up all the way to that area. We're not even remotely close to it. Again, some support here, some resistance. Just getting an idea of what could be possible at what levels. We're going to have to keep a close eye, I think, on this kind of 1.7 area. Seems like there might be some really big resistance. So I'm just gonna kind of note that to self. We got the 180-day moving average coming in here. We got big resistance at 1.7 and bigger resistance at 1.11. Let's quickly just check it out. And you can see, we ran up exactly to it right here. Kind of got rejected at a little bit above the 1.7, 1.8. And then, we finally broke out from this area, went all the way to 2.2. And then had a little breakout from here, but not getting rejected. Maybe we'll see a little pullback to 1.75. That could be a really good entry, a little bounce. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing pulled back, though. It's already up over 100%. So it could be a little overextended. Let's see if we can get a little pullback on it. And we're going to be wanting to trade with our cash account. I hate how it's so small right now. We're going to be looking for about an $850 position size. So if we were looking for that, it's a little bigger than this, so maybe closer to 450 maybe. Yeah. All right, guys, 10 seconds till the market opens. Let's get ready. If we dip down here to 1.8, I would definitely like an entry. I think I would rather see some support come in first, but I'll be looking for it. CETX, guys, some of the nicest dollar volume. CLVS as well. I'm going to keep an eye on that one. All right, moving up quickly. Big buyers coming in here, so was not able to crash whatsoever. 13% move. Remember guys, there's going to be some big support, resistance here at the 215. I'm not sure if I'm going to want to trade this one, although I think an entry at 2.02 could be phenomenal. I'm just going to adjust my order just to be ready for it, just in case. Okay, so we would have had an entry if I bought there, and that's kind of what I was thinking about. Just a little bit too much resistance above for me, making me a little uneasy with this trade. Let's see if we can just pull back a little bit more first. Big opening volume though, looking pretty good. OGI guys, keep an eye on that one, and FLNT, both looking really good. Big buyers at 2. Okay, so this looks like it could have been a good entry, but I wasn't really feeling it. Looks like this one might run away from us. Yeah, so that was it. That would have been the entry. I don't know. I didn't really feel it, so it's fine. That would have been already a 10% profit trade on that one. We would have entered at 2. Ideally sold on the breakout. Having some troubles here, guys. Watch out. Really quickly, I'm just going to look at OGI, see how it's moving. I really like this big support here. This thing could really crack. I actually really like OGI. Just one of the bigger market caps. Big support there. I'm going to go back to CETX. I think this thing might sell off a little bit first here. Markets are generally positive right now. CLVS has some of the biggest dollar volume. Usually a really good sign. Wouldn't be surprised though if it came closer to $10 before it maybe had a nice move. A little red to green move. Just being a little cautious with CETX right now. Big opening volume does look good. It just, keep in mind, it could be a little bit overextended in the short term. I might be totally wrong. This thing could just start running. But that's kind of putting me on edge a little bit. 115, that was just being chipped away really nicely. Big sellers. Having some issues breaking out. If we pulled back to, let's say, 175, that'd be a pretty big dip. That'd be about 17% down. I think it's totally possible. $214. All right, here we go, breaking to the upside. This would have been the pick, I guess. Big sellers at 220, but it's getting shipped away. All right, that was it. That was the break. We should have bought in the 220. Flint looking good. It's definitely showing, CETX is definitely showing some signs of, you know, weakness. It's not super strong, but again, it's near some really really big resistance here at 2. So that's why I was a little cautious with all these entries, or, you know, no entries, I guess you can even say. Okay, here we go, pulling back. FLNT looking pretty good. Nice little pop here to the upside, pulling back. Just not the biggest moves. Thanks, Andrew. Me too. Nice move with the 15 cents. Really good. Solid trade. It's 9:37 Eastern Standard Time, 7 minutes since the market opened. No super major gap and goes on our radar. CETX is trying really hard to break out. Super solid. I'll get there eventually with my 5K positions, but I'm allocating about 18% per trade right now. And since we have about a $5,000 account size, yeah, we're about $800, $900 per trade. You know, this thing could have been multiple trades in this area. I'm just not crazy about kind of the lack of breakout speed. Let's quickly go to the scanner, check out what's moving here. I'm gonna load our aftermarket open scanner. I really need to get myself a faster laptop. This thing is, this thing is pretty fast. 16 gigabytes RAM, i7. It's just a little bit old at the same time. Connor says PCG. Let's check it out. See, this is not even loading. This should all be done loading already. PCG. All right, so everything up here is kind of what we're looking at. So we already have that on our watch list. CLVS, all that stuff. How come you're looking at PCG? Kind of a big market cap, but nice dollar volume. CETX pushing higher. Yeah, it is. Good call. Big resistance above. Yeah, it does look good. I like how aggressive this thing's moving in terms of just percentage-wise. I mean, these nice 16% moves are just amazing. 18% now. We should have, I called it out in the morning, we should have went in at the 2.02. I was just a little nervous with the amount of resistance above. But, this thing is actively trying to break higher right now. Big buyers coming in. I think 215 could be a nice entry. Yeah, and then imagine you got out at 2, you know, lock in those profits. Coming back to this support zone, former breakout area, I'm just going to watch the price a little bit, 214. Kind of looking like it's having a little bit of struggles. Don't know why it's asking me that. If I click auto send and I say cancel all, will that auto? Okay, that's why. Big support in this area, 215. Let's see if it holds. I don't know if it will, but it's good fun to watch. Yeah, huge selling volume. Good call on Flint. Flint's really running, gaining a lot of momentum. Definitely going to put that on my second screen later today. Yeah, nice pullback here. Big support coming in. It's the marketing company with good guidance. Really good news. Found that support at 3. This kind of looks like a little channel here, little ascending channel, and channels typically do break to the downside. Not really sure how I feel about it. I have not been fully convinced with any one of these kind of trading opportunities we've seen today, which is fine. So this might be a little continuation move to the downside, a little 20% crack we had earlier. If we had a 20% crack back from this channel, we would go back to 1.8, 1.7. So maybe somewhere in that area could be a good buy. I don't really know if and when we're going to get that, but that's one possible trade. Another possible trade, which I think is much more risky, is potentially entering on this bounce and trying to get a ride up here. Because there is big support in this area. The only problem I have with that is the breakout was okay. Wasn't bad, but the first bounce was really weak. Nice. Andrew, you're going all out today with the trades. Hello, Ski Sebastian. FLNT, guys, 56% already. I think that's the one that's kind of getting away from us. Good call on that, Sor, by the way. I think that was sneaking under my radar just a little bit too much. So look at this thing just inching higher constantly. Really nice. Big support potentially here in the 320s. If we wanted to enter this trade, we'd probably need about 250. And the 21s could definitely be a possible entry. not gonna lie, it's really annoying dealing with these small sizes. I feel like I'm always typing in the wrong amounts. This thing is really just kind of running. I'll put a limit order here, way too conservative of a limit order, I think, but I'm just gonna kind of identify where some bigger support is. Kind of see on the 5-minute chart. Yeah, this thing is just moving. So one of these, when these are a little bigger in caps, market caps, they can really just kind of keep up some really good momentum. I like how it's moving up too. So, you know, a lot of these are stagnant, but then a lot of the ones on our watch list are slowly moving up, especially FLNT, CETX kind of already took the throne. OGI isn't doing anything too impressive. A little bit nervous on this one. It kind of hit that $3 and kind of selling off a little bit. CETX moving back to the upside. Andrew, I haven't made any trades yet. I'm just barely holding in. CETX is pulling back now. When I was day trading crypto a lot, actually the ascending channels were my favorite shorting patterns, actually. So I would typically wait for an ascending channel to break to the downside, wait for a pullback, retest the ascending support, I guess you can say, which is new resistance, and then just go basically just the lower trend line. And then if that cracked and started pulling back down, I would start shorting those positions. Again, we have a limit open on Flint. Oftentimes I like to have these limit orders near really major support. One, it goes into my current account so I can see my orders very quickly and which charts I really want to be looking at. And then two, sometimes you get those really flash crashes. That's very rare. And now Flint is just killing it again, up 64%. A lot of the dollar volume is kind of migrating over to FLNT. Yeah, ADAP could be a really nice bounce. I think this could just be the beginning of the run on FLNT. The problem is that massive resistance at 4, even 380. Okay, we just made that new high, 387. Right as I say, big resistance. This thing runs up 13%. What a little popper. I'm gonna go to remove my limit order because I don't think it's any bit valuable in that position. If anything, I'll trip over it later. CETX is still struggling at 217. We're about, what is that, 19 minutes now since the market opened. It's 9:49. I'm usually a little cautious in probably the next 6-7 minutes in getting into trades, but sometimes that caution is a little bit overextended. Let's see what we got here. CETX looks like it could be a possible short, if anything. I'm not shorting because I'm in a cash account. We don't have margin on cash account. So you can't borrow shares, but kind of interesting little play here. You got to be really careful when these bounces just don't happen. Oh, 220 got broken out though. 222. New sellers coming in, but is this a breakout here, guys? Can we get a breakout? Maybe the 220 is support. I don't know. I'm not going to be trading this one because it's a little choppy for me, but buying the breakout could be a really interesting play. What I do like about this is we have that on the 5 minute, it looks really healthy. So we're breaking to the upside here. We pull back. This support holds 3 times already. So, you know, there's 2 different ways to look at this. FLNT is seeing a lot of volume coming in. Check it out. Now it's at 14 million. It was just at 8 or 9 million like a few minutes ago. A lot of attention flowing over, while CETX is stagnating a little bit more. Yeah, staying in a position is tough. I also get out of all my trades almost too early, but it's usually for the best. 3.5, we could see some major support coming in here. I might try to get a potential entry, but it looks like it's breaking out again to the upside. Could be seeing a bit of a pullback here on FLNT. Got to be cautious. CETX is still making moves higher. 2.3, 2.2, 2.34. I think CETX might just be breaking out. Woo, I turned around for 1 second. We just missed that entry, just barely. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this order. That would have been, I would have been pretty happy with this entry. Let's see if we could come down a little bit again. Let's see what happens here. I don't necessarily think this run is over. Although it's near that major resistance zone, so you just got to be careful with that. I don't feel too comfortable right now with CETX or FLNT, just because the big resistance above on both of them. Although I would have been pretty happy with my 51 order. It even reached 351, but our order was not executed. I don't feel entirely safe entering right now. The 51 would have gave me enough cushion to potentially enter the trade if this stock starts crashing quickly. And I feel like that cushion is kind of no longer there. But let's see, if we start getting a little bit of momentum here, I wouldn't mind buying the breakout on FLNT. I'm gonna have to reduce my position size a little bit, unfortunately. So I think CETX and FLNT, I missed a lot of trades today. And the reason I missed, I think personally, all the trades is because I had this kind of general fear of that upside resistance. It made me a little bit more cautious today. That could be a really good spot. I'm not sure if this thing's going to break down. I think it's kind of just gaining some momentum in this area. Remember, 3.5 was a failed performer breakout zone. Looks like it's holding. Yep. CETX is over 100% now today. All the markets are up as well. Let's see here. I think there's a good chance we might just be able to snag a trade. Yep, the 5-minute looks really good. If we wanted to enter here, this is just about exactly the position size we'd be wanting to use. Breaking out. See if we can get an entry here at 59. Don't like how it's looking weak. I'm going to be ready to get out any second. 53, I might be getting out here. So I tried to buy the breakout on this one, and it just did not work out for us. Markets are all moving up though. Definitely several good signs. I just don't like when the breakout doesn't happen very quickly. All right, here we go. Looks like we're breaking out. It's been decided. Hopefully it's been decided. Nothing's for sure. I have my auto send on. This is a tiny position size, only 850 shares, by the way. The question is, can we break past that former high? I'm going to give it a few moments here. Kind of struggling. Don't like that. Again, big resistance at the 4. Might be getting out right now. $61, having some problems here. A lot of selling pressure. If that 11 gets chewed away, I think I'm going to be forcing an exit at 58. Wow, that just happened really quickly. Let's see if we can quickly exit here. All right, we took a small loss on this one, $9 loss. Not really that bad. I think my biggest issue with this trade is that it just didn't break out fast enough, and I was kind of feeling it the whole time. But I'm actually not too disappointed. I mean, I think there was a good chance we could have broke it. Good momentum, kind of everything you would look for. It just didn't work this time. So that's totally fine. I think the second half of today could be really interesting. I think a lot of these, especially CETX and FLNT, we're going to probably see some really nice pullbacks today. And I cannot wait for the second half of the trading. I think we might have some really good stuff going on. I'm super curious if FLNT by the end of the day is going to make a new high. Is it going to make a high over 4? That's going to be the big question. Nice work, Andrew, locking in those profits. You were totally right at the 3.7, and it's a great spot. I have so many videos even about looking at to the left, looking at former shoulders and selling into former shoulders. I wonder a little bit if it's if it's just the fact that I had such a small position size that I was holding it for so long, but I don't really think so. I think generally with that move we were looking for a bigger trade, and that just was not it. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. I'm gonna wrap up the video there. Leave a like if you appreciate this content. If you guys have some fun trading live, I think there's a good chance it's gonna break high of day as well. Nothing is for sure. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you again for Thursday, and I'll see you on the recap video later today. Stay safe, guys, and make some awesome trades. Till next time, ciao, ciao.